morning,
Go for
everyone.
it.
Welcome to Tribe Tribute with Tanya and Tanya this morning. And we've got a very special guest this morning, one of our group members. Tanya, welcome on Tribe Tribute.
Thank you very much for having me.
Tanya, tell me, where are you from?
I live on a farm outside Beaufort West next to the Karoo National Park. And when we were looking for a farm, my husband came home one night and said to me, this farm is advertised on Gumtree. And I said to him, who advertises and sells farms on Gumtree? You only buy secondhand stuff on Gumtree. And he says to me, but you won't believe it. That the farmer says that the rhinos, you can see them from the stoep, and you can hear the lions at night. I said, that sounds too good to be true. We have to go and have a look at this. So we ended up coming here, but this was after about a 3-4 year journey of looking for a farm or something remote just to get out of the city. And we ended up staying.
Wow.
So that's how we ended up getting to stay here.
Just a quick question, which doesn't have any relevance, but is it very dry there?
Yes, actually, if I had to be honest and say that we've seen some really beautiful farms, in Afrikaans they would say, daar waar groen weilande, what's it, daar waar groen gras is, daar lê hy my heen. We saw all of that, and I could never understand why the Karoo, at the outset when we came here, they had a little bit of rain, so there was this promise and a promise of good times to lie ahead, but lo and behold, after we bought the farm, as you would know, we with hindsight, we actually started a very dry period, like 8-9 years of the drought really set in to the point where things really got quite dire. Not for us so necessarily, because we're not dependent on the farm, but I could never understand why I ended up having to be here. But I think God puts us in places where we are needed most. And so I now understand why I ended up being here. So a very long-winded answer to a very short question.
Thank you very much. Yes, I also, when I look at places, I want water. I want green, because water is life for me. So that's why I asked the question, just to understand a bit more about Tanya. But anyway, Tanya,
but you can create your own green, and it doesn't necessarily come in the color green.
Oh, I hear you. And you know what? I actually saw something on Facebook yesterday of in a desert where a permaculture couple created this little oasis heaven in the desert. It's green. It's an air photo, and it's green in that little spot, and around them is just desert. So you can actually physically do it too if you've got the knowledge to do it, which is very interesting. But
Yes.
I get what you're saying about it doesn't have to be. I get it. Okay. Tanya, now tell me quickly, how long have you been part of self-sufficient homesteading and gardening, our tribe?
I actually discovered, you should know the Van Heerdens. Yeah. And I saw Jean actually liked a post that you had posted, and I tend to align myself with like-minded people, and then I went and had a look, and I liked what I saw happening, and I liked the direction that the Facebook page was going. And then I thought to myself, I joined. So I would say that I could maybe be about 1.5 years.
Okay.
But I haven't really been contributing a lot, because sometimes a person is more in observe mode than what you're in a contributing mode. Got so you. Yes, I like what I see.
Okay, good. So tell me what initiated this need to connect to self-sufficiency, to start your journey? Was there something that catalyzed it for you?
I would imagine, if I had to take you back about 10, 15 years ago, my husband and I were both in very stressful jobs, leaving very little time for ourselves as well as to have a relationship with God. And living in the city, you actually live a rather artificial life, and you get disconnected from who you are, what your goals are, and why you are young. So one day my husband and I came home, and we both looked at each other and we realized we needed something more. And the more wasn't more money, more success, more achievements. The need was to actually be a little bit more dependent on being not necessarily, I'm not a doomsday prepper, but it's all about going back to grassroots, being a little bit more connected with yourself, with what your needs are and what you want, or the reason and the purpose why we are here. So that was, I think, in essence, the driving force of us making the decision. And every time when we went looking for a farm, we kept coming back to comfort, to the rat race, getting back onto the treadmill, and then there's no time to think. So we came home one day and said, selling the house would be the best. Not knowing where to go is very scary, but at the same time, it was important to take that first step, and that is to sell everything that was comfortable and get rid of everything that we knew, so that we could open up ourselves to something new, of which we didn't know in which direction it was going to go. So quite scary, but exciting at the same time.
Well, this is a goosebumps answer for me, because I'm sitting here, my legs are going, and man, this is just amazing. And I can say, this is what time also does. It gives you wisdom, and because with time
Yes,
you get wisdom, and you're not 20 years old anymore. You might be 35.
well, I'm double that. Not
I'm kidding,
quite double, not quite double, but nearly there.
Gotcha. So, so yes, wisdom comes with age as well, and so that's just like, this answer blows my mind. It's such a beautiful answer, and it's so, man, it comes from deep within you, that need deep within you. So that's really nice. Thank you very much for that. I think this will shed a lot of light for other people out there and help them to make a decision too, because that was, as you say, you don't know where you're going. It's like Abram in the Bible. The Lord said, go, and he said, okay, Lord, where must I go? He already packed up, and he said, where am I going? So not like, oh, but what will we do? What will we eat? We just go. So I really appreciate that. Okay, now tell me quickly, in your self-sufficiency journey, where are you now? What are you able to do at the moment? And I remember, self-sufficiency for everyone looks different. So it's not the same.
Self-sufficiency, I think, all depends on what your need is. If your self-sufficiency is finances, then obviously you need to do something that would create finances for you to survive. So you can have two outlooks on that, as if I had to say self-sufficient. If money is your self-sufficient need, then you have to find what you can do. And if you don't like it, actually just get the best in doing it, so that you can actually be successful in that. Our self-sufficiency was the self-sufficiency of having time and being able to do things that we like to do, which will set us apart and give us the space to grow spiritually. So I would say that is I'm in a good position when it comes to self-sufficiency, in terms of being able to address those time needs that we needed for us to be able to grow. So like you said, self-sufficiency looks different for different people. So
Absolutely.
if you say self-sufficient, everybody thinks that self-sufficient has to be a financial positive bank account. But self-sufficiency doesn't necessarily equate to a financial um, positive bank account.
Yeah.
Sometimes the bank account belongs to God, and we just need, he'll give us what we need when we need it. Like especially in the drought, if I could just share this with you, I could never understand why the Karoo. Um, and I always thought that when I was living in Joburg, financially being very self-sufficient, I thought I was okay. As a matter of fact, I was so okay that I didn't need him at all. Okay, so coming to the Karoo, it is really a God-forsaken place. If you had to look at the drought and the grayness and the brownness of the aridness of this land, and I discovered that I was also in a very arid position in my spiritual life.
Wow.
And so over a 19-year period, the luckily for me, I believe that the drought is lifted in my heart as well as my environment around me. So the Lord took me on a very arid journey, spiritually as well as physically.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. It's amazing how he uses situations in our lives to address other things that are deeper within our heart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's insane. All right. Well, I just want to also say, talking about self-sufficiency, we're talking about financial security, etc. I think in our group, a lot of people, well, self-sufficiency is also about being able to look after yourself, growing your own vegetables, your own animals, etc. And when I was at the homesteading day last weekend, I was emphasizing something that a friend actually told me. She gave me this idea, and it was self-sufficiency versus Holy Spirit efficiency. And we must know what we want to be independent from, but we must know what we should be dependent on. So there's a balance between the
Mm-hmm.
two. So I just thought I'd share that with you because that was like a really good point. I'll actually do a video just on that, and I'll put it on YouTube. All right, now tell me, in your journey, what is your greatest lesson, your self-sufficiency journey? What has been your greatest lesson so far that you can share with the group?
I think the biggest lesson that a person can learn, we all can learn, that it doesn't matter in which sphere of life you are, it doesn't matter in which stage of life you are, it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, and that is to be authentically yourself at all times. People gravitate to people that are authentic. When somebody asks you something, they asking you because they might have a need. People tend to, we're living in such a fast-paced life that we've lost the value and the meaning of giving more than what we get. We're in a very selfish cycle within humanity, if you want to call it that. And you end up giving more, you actually give more than what you get. So I've tried to turn that around, and that is sharing is caring, and giving is, there's more blessings in the giving than there is in the getting, if you know what I'm saying. So my Makoti is my way of creating wows for other people, giving them more than what they expected to get in terms of the money. I get money for what I do. Believe me, I do get paid, and I get paid fair. But at the end of the day, they get more because they're getting my heart, they're getting my time, they're getting my creativity, they're getting good value and something that will last them a long time. So what I discovered, the biggest lesson for me was, I mustn't focus on getting something. I must focus on giving something. And in the giving, I get more back. So if I had to, I would say there's two things that I would say is my biggest lesson. The one is authentic, true to self, always honest with people, and giving them more than what they expected to get in exchange when the transaction takes place.
Nice. I love that. Now you mentioned Makoti. Tell me quickly, this is what you are, is this what you are using to bring a bit of finances into the house there in the dry Karoo?
Yes, if I just look at, I'm on pension, so my pension's enough to take care of that. My need was, look, like I said, lots of people have a financial need. Mine is a need of having a sense of belonging. When I was a financial advisor for practically nearly 30 years, I had a very high sense of belonging when and I was extremely successful in what I did. So I always had people calling me, and so I always had that sense of need, that people needing me. And so when Makoti came about, it actually happened in a way that I didn't see it happen. And after it happened, I saw, okay, this is what I've got. Because when we came to the Karoo, I realized very quickly that we are, in Afrikaans, they call inkommers. And an inkomer doesn't really, I didn't know that there was such a word. I really didn't.
That's a Karoo
I
thing.
was so naive. I was so naive. And the day that I found out that I'm not an inkomer was the day I found out I was. So, but anyway, so I really quickly realized that when I retired from being a financial advisor, my sense of need, of feeling that sense of belonging, there was this void, because now I'm on the farm and I'm a people's person, and I needed to create that sense of belonging and that sense of need for me more than so for others. So I started making stuff for the community, man, little drawstring bags, giving them away, part of community projects and something like that. And in the 7 years traveling between Joburg and the farm to keep the practice going, I used to say with my sister-in-law, I love her as if she's my blood sister. And she used to call me Makoti. And one day I said to her, why do you call me Makoti? And so she said, it's a way of, it's a term of endearment that the African cultures use to identify the person that they've invited and allowed and accepted. And so when I started and making all these things, they started saying to me, but these things are so beautiful, you could sell them. I said, but okay, but then I need a name for my Facebook page. And her daughter, Chantal, living in Australia now, she said, there's only one name that will work, and there's only name that it can ever be, and it's got to be Makoti. So I first frowned on it, and I thought it was a little bit strange, me being a white person, and taking on an identity or something that belongs to somebody else. And then I thought to myself, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. It's all about acceptance. It's about if you look at my banner photo on my page, it says transforming into a respected woman, no longer a girl, new identity, new image, and new stage of life. And it like so fitted.
Wow.
And so that's how it came about, and that's what it is.
Wow. Wow. And tell me, Makoti, now, so what do you basically do? What is it that Makoti is all about in terms of products?
Anything that you can do with a needle and a thread and a pin and a scissors and a piece of fabric.
Okay, all right.
So it will be a drawstring bag. It will be a zip bag. It will be a computer bag. It will be it will be a fitted sheets. Interestingly, Just for Sleep contacted me about 2 years ago because they've got these temper beds and Just for Sleep. That their beds are like 75 centimeters wide and a single bed is 91. Their beds are 200 long and a normal single bed is 180 long. So the agents are selling these beds and telling them to go and buy single bed fitted sheets at home and all these interesting stores. But once you press the button, only one corner on the fitted sheet fits, the rest jumps off. So fitted sheets will be there, flat sheets, duvet covers, and then this thing just grew and grew and grew. And then I started finding that in quilting terms or in needlework terms, you have what they call crumbs. Now, a crumb is literally a piece of fabric that is too small to be used as a single item. And then you have to actually join them to make something of it. And then while I was sitting sewing these little crumbs together, something went through my mind and I thought to myself, I feel like that little crumb. And people that connect with me on WhatsApp, Facebook, doesn't matter where, are all these little crumbs that get put together in isolation, a yellow little piece of fabric and a green piece of fabric and a blue piece of fabric. If you just put them together, they don't seem to, or if they singled out, they don't necessarily make an orchestra or a symphony or something like that. And so stitching them together, I started making little table, like a little placemat for to set the table. Then it was like a little runner on the table. Then I thought, no, I think maybe I can go bigger than this. If I can work 4 squares together, I'm sure I can make a bigger thing of it. And so then I bought my first long arm machine, and so now I've got a really good long arm machine. And so now I stitch people together and I stitch fabric together, and sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow, but I love it.
So your little crumbs, your little pieces of different, very unique little cloths that represent people as well. You are sewing them together and then you're making this absolutely beautiful work of art out of all these different facets. And it forms one beautiful big picture in a quilt, for instance.
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And this is I want to relate it to our group. I mean, our group is such a beautiful group. There's such stunning people on our group. And
Yes,
oh, this is a
that's
yellow little fabric, and this is a green little crumb and an orange crumb. And together we make such a stunning group because everybody is so supportive of each other, and it's such a beautiful community.
I want to add to that, and that is that when we talk about like-minded people doesn't necessarily, we don't look like each other. We've got different interests. You might be into chickens, I might be into peppers, or the other person might be into gardening, or somebody else might be into building a hoenderhok. Or a chicken pen, different things, and everybody's bringing something to the table, which makes for very inspirational content. I'm absolutely inspired by so many people that are on the group, coming from nothing, because some people that I've picked up on this group have never had 2 chickens together in a chicken pen, or have never, they've always bought their eggs out of Woolworths and Checkers and these places, and having that first little home scrambled egg that you harvested yourself. What an achievement and what a wow moment. So there's so many people have to just tap into become acquainted with themselves, to know what they like, and to actually give some form of expression, and just sit 2 plankies by mekaar
Yes.
and build something, make something.
This is
There's
absolutely,
so much, there's so much reward in that sense of achievement that no money can buy that.
yeah. Incredible. I am absolutely finding so much value in this tribe tribute, and thank you, Tanya. It's really been very insightful, and I've enjoyed it so much. And I don't know why you were so worried when I phoned Tanya last night, and I said, "Oh, I sent her a message. I said, are you on tribe tribute this morning?" She's like, "Oh, I'm not going to sleep tonight." And this morning she said to me, "I didn't sleep a wink. I was just going, and stuff was going through my head." And but anyway, so you've been such a natural on this, and I just love what you are giving through to us, and it's giving so much insight, wisdom, and guidance for all of us, and it's so deep. It's amazing. Thank you very
I,
much.
I can I can maybe just share one last little nugget.
And I'm going to ask you one more
When
question
life,
after that. Yes. Okay. Yes.
one small little nugget. It's just remember I said I'll speak from the heart. Is life is so busy, and it actually means that your mind, I find my mind never switches off. It's like it's this constant, it's like this race in my mind. My mind is in this direction, in that direction, it's all over the place. And once I go and sit down to sew, and I want to equate that through and pull that through to anybody that's on the group, when you putting those two little plunkies together, or when you putting the seed in the ground, or when you uh, harvesting the tomatoes in the field, or canning stuff, in that moment, just pause and just become quiet within yourself and know that we are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. And I wonder if my last question will now be void, but maybe you've got some more nuggets in there. My last question would have been, if there was one piece of advice that you can give to all the little crumbs on the group, what would it be?
Never, ever give up. Know that there is a bigger plan for our lives. Don't get so bogged down by the negativities, the things that can derail. Align yourself with people that are like minded. Success, or let's put it this way, support comes in different forms. It comes in the form that you're running the race and you've got these people on the stand cheering you along and saying, go, 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 go. You've got people that will like a post. You've got people that will share a post. There will be people that will comment on a post. There will be people that will phone you and say, can you share, would you mind showing me how to stitch two pieces of fabric together, or whatever it is that you do. Don't be afraid to share. There's so much sunshine out there for every one of us. And in your small little way, you can make a difference in your own life and in the life of somebody that is next to you or needs you.
My goodness. Thank you very much, Tanya. That is insightful and very helpful. And I thank you for one of the most amazing tribe tribute interviews I've ever had. It's been such a great one. So thank you for being part of it, and thank you for agreeing last night when I sent you a message to do this. And
My red counter went into the red.
sorry,
My red counter went into the red.
don't know why, because it comes naturally to you. So um, may you guys be blessed there on your little farm in the Karoo, and we are so glad that you're part of our community, and that you can always know that you belong to our community, and you're one of the crumbs that form the beautiful symphony at the end of the day. So thank you for being part.
Just remember, we as humans were not made to be in isolation of each other. We are supposed to be a tribe. We are supposed to stand together. We are meant to encourage each other, and we are meant to share and care for each other. And that's what makes us unique in who we are.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you very much, Tanya. I hope your day is absolutely wonderful. And thank you for giving me half an hour of your precious time. And it's been a half an hour that's going to be sowing a lot of seeds into a lot of people's lives. So thank you.
Okay, you take care and God bless.
Thank you. Bye bye, guys.